Welcome to Knit in the Zone. I'm Jen, and this is a vlog about all things yarn, knitting, sometimes crochet, and sometimes some other random fun things too. This is episode 54, and before we get started, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's joining me today. Welcome to new viewers, and welcome back to returning viewers. I also want to let you know where you can find me across all the social media things. I am Nitty Gritty Vegan on Ravelry. You can go to knitinthezone.com to get all of the clickable links for anything I mention in this episode, or of course any past or future episodes. You can go to traintrackfiberdesigns.com. That's where I sell my artisan hand-dyed yarns. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I have two accounts. I have one for Knit in the Zone, and that one's pretty active. I post a lot of knitting things, but I also post some other random life things over there. And then I also have an Instagram account for Train Track Fiber Designs. I basically post shop updates over there and just different yarns that are in my shop. So go follow those, go check out the either one of my websites. On my websites, you can click, there's a banner that'll pop up and you can sign up for emails so you get alerted whenever there's new shows on this channel, and also if there's new things in the shop. So go check all that out. And I have been stocking things, so let me show you what I've been stocking. I basically started looking for minis projects because I love minis. I have a lot of minis. I subscribe to a minis box. There's a lot of minis in my life. And I am making the, what is it called? The Cozy Memories blanket by Camper Away. I'm making that and I love it. But I know, at some point that project's going to come to an end and I'm going to still have minis. And I think I might be a little bit addicted to minis. So this is some of the things that I found. This is called Take It All, and this is a shawl. And it's just full of minis. It's really cool. There's a bunch of different textures and shapes and different, things going around in there. There's some lace, there's some stripes, there's a lot of fun stuff. So that really grabbed my attention. So that's the first thing. And if I can get this to scroll over, there we go. All right, so this is called the Lamina wrap. And I feel like I must have lotion on my hands because I feel like my screen's smudgy. This is the Lamina wrap. And I really love this. It's it looks like it's pretty simple because it looks like the lace panels just repeat themselves and then there's some texture of some sort going on in between. So I like that a lot. I thought that was really pretty. Here's another picture of it. That's kind of it's like on a mannequin. So I thought that was super pretty, and that uses minis. This is called Mini Madness Shawl. And once again, minis. And it's, once again, it looks like it's pretty easy. Looks like there's a lace panel or a few different lace panels and then some, solid, I don't know if they're stockinette or if they're garter, but just some pretty plain sections in there. Oh my gosh, I love this one. Okay, so this is called Colorful Geometry. I love this so much. So you use minis, but then you pick a solid as well. So it's pretty simple though as far as the construction goes. Of course, I didn't buy the pattern, so I don't know 100% what they did, but it's straight. So there's no increases or decreases or anything like that. And it's all either knit or purl stitches. And then the only thing you have to worry about is really color change. So if you're like maybe a newer knitter or you're not really comfortable with like decreases or increases or things like that, this would be really awesome because it has texture and color. So if you can see in the solid gray sections, there's like, I guess is purled like triangles in there. It's really cute. So that's cool. And then I liked this too. This kind of reminded me of another project too. So this is called the Lifesaver, and this is a sweater. And so you pick a main color and then you use minis for your contrasting stripes. And then this is the last thing I'll show you. So this is Fine Tuned by Holy Locatelli. And this is a cowl. And and once again a main color and then contrasting minis. So that's the last thing I'll show you on here. I brought a few things down to show you too that I've actually knit that you could use minis for. So I wore this last week on my show. This is the Sperry by Amy Miller, and in the actual like pattern, whenever you go buy it, she has her main color as light blue, and then she has these contrasting color stripes. They're just white. I decided to make mine, you know, have the different color stripes, but you could totally do this with minis too. I didn't use minis, I used scraps just because I had scraps of this, but you could use minis, and you could use, you know, more than 3 colors if you wanted to. You definitely wouldn't use, if you used at least 3 minis, you wouldn't use all of like a, depending on what size, I guess. For most sizes, I think you would not use a whole entire minis, like one single 20-gram skein of mini, if you used at least 3 colors. I would probably say to use 4 or 5 colors just to be safe if you're using minis, but obviously you can weigh it and kind of see what you think, because if you divide the contrasting color by however many minis you have and just see, you can kind of decide, you know, how to break those up. Anyway, so that's one idea. So basically any sweater or anything you see that's striped, like in thinner stripes especially, you could change those out for contrasting minis and, you know, do either a gradient type thing or like I did where you stripe every so often. Anyway, I'm not very good at explaining that. This is the Land of the Sweets Cowl, and this actually is made for minis, and this is something that Helen Stewart did for Knitvent 2017, but it's just minis. And you could use, you know, as few or as many colors as you wanted on that. There's 24 sections, so you could, you know, really use 24 different mini colors if you want to. You would not need all of that. I think I did 8 colors, possibly, and I have a ton left over of each color. So, you know, that's an idea. And then this is a hat that I made. It's just a stocking cap. I made this probably in 2006 or 2007. It's a long, long, long time ago. But I just did stripes. I think the pattern was solid. I just added stripes to it, but you could do that really with anything. And then on the back, because of my color changes, really sucked. After I learned to do cables, I had a little bit of the green left, and I made a cable to go up the back to hide where the color change happened, because like I said, I was new and my color changes were like all jacked up and they were tight in places. So I don't know if you can see it on the inside really, but yeah, this isn't gonna do it justice, but basically it's not good in there. So yeah, but that's an idea too. And then I just wanted to pull out a few things and show you. So if you did like a darker gray color, basically anything's gonna go a darker gray. So these are some minis I have in my shop. This is a full size. Is that blowing out? I don't know if that's blowing out for you guys or not. I don't know. Anyways, so basically anything will go with gray, of course. If you have something that has speckles, like this for example, then just look at the color speckles that are in it, and you could pick some minis that would go with that. So this has all the color speckles in it, so it would go with this unicorn splash bundle really well. But yeah, so, and even if you picked like a yellow or something, then you could pick, you know, either, where's this set over here? Yeah, because like this yellow, it has speckles that are like pink and red. So if you did a set of minis that was, you know, like coral and red and pink, it does have this other yellow, but it's not the same color yellow. Wow, that's really blown out. Anyway, you could do your contrasting stripes and something like that. Obviously, the possibilities are endless. That was just some things that I had kind of thought about that would be cool together. But yeah, and then also don't forget, whenever you're doing minis projects, your minis don't have to be the exact same fiber content as your main color or even as each other, as long as they're all the same weight. So if you're using sock yarn, you know, use sock yarn for the whole thing, but you can mix and match bases because, you know, there's a standard that makes it sock yarn, that makes it that size. So that's actually, you know, the wraps per inch that you get. So as long as your yarns are the same weight yarn, you can mix and match anything. So you could put sparkles with cashmere, with, you know, a MCM blend, or with a, you know, a nylon blend, anything, and it'll all work out together, especially in the minis because there's different colors, so it'll kind of, you know, just add even more fun to it. So I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm wearing now. This is, if you've watched this before, you already know, this is my Ooh La La. This is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. Her pattern is actually striped, but I did mine just in a solid, or obviously it's not solid, it's a speckle yarn, but it's just one rather than striping it. And then I did do contrasting pockets, or the insides of the pockets are contrasting. So that's the only thing that I put a different color on. But it's a really fun pattern. I feel like it was a quick knit. I think this is one of the things that I had to like rip out after I was halfway through because it was too tight after I got the body done. So anyways, but it would have been quick had I followed the sizing and swatched. Anyways, so that's what I'm wearing. But I'll link that over at Knit in the Zone as well. And then that's really all I have to tell you about that. I liked it. She has really, really well written patterns. So yeah. All right, now I'm going to show you what I'm working on. This is going to be a really short episode, just so you guys know. I probably should have said that at the beginning. You probably know because you clicked it and there's like, you know, it tells you how long stuff lasts. But I've put a lot of time into Sunset Highway and not a lot of time into anything else. So I'm going to show you the little bit of progress that I've made on my socks, and then I'll show you Sunset Highway. So this is the lace and cable socks. And this is a pattern by Wendy D Johnson. And so it has a lace section, and then it does have cable sections on the sides. And then the contrasting toes, I made that out of Hawthorn by Knit Picks, and the color is Compass. And then the actual body of the sock, or main part of the color of the sock, is Weekender, and that's a color by Madtosh, and it is her Euro sock base. These socks are taking a little bit longer than socks normally take me for two reasons. Number one, I'm really digging the Sunset Highway project that I have going on, so I'm kind of distracted. The other thing is these cables, even though it's not like it's hard to do a cable, but it just takes more time. So that's the other reason. I'm about 10 rows, I think, from where I'll need to start my gusset increase. So, you know, slowly but surely getting there. It is a super fun pattern. It's just, like I said, I've been really enjoying working on Sunset Highway right now. Tell you what I'm using too. So I'm using my Chiago size 0, US 0 needles, which is a 2mm needle. And these are the red lace Chiago needles. And then my stitch markers and progress keepers are from Knitty by Nature. This will have a little hippo on here. I got him for Christmas for myself. And then I have a seahorse because obviously I like seahorses, and I think I'm at the ocean, but I am not. So that's what I'm using for progress keepers and yarn and all that good stuff. It is a super fun pattern. It's just, like I said, I'm a little bit distracted because I'm really, really loving something else right now. So this right now is my favorite thing I've ever made. Just like, you know, every time you make a new sweater or something, it's always your very favorite ever. But it really is. I think it really will be one of my very favorites ever whenever I'm done too. So this is Sunset Highway. There are so many of these. Whenever you go on Ravelry and you're looking for like inspiration or whatever, and you're trying to, you know, pick your colors, there's like over 900 of these things on there. So I don't know. I picked colors that I didn't see anybody else had. So there's probably one that looks exactly like this somewhere, because out of 900, there's no way someone hasn't done a similar setup. But yeah, so I am making, let's see, I'm making the size The second size up, which I think is considered a size small, it might be yeah, I think it's a size small. It's like the one that's supposed to be 39.75 inches around. So that's the one I'm making. I'm making the whole thing on size US 3 needles, which is, what millimeter is that? 3.25 millimeter needles. And I'm using my Chiago interchangeable set. And then the yarn I'm using Meadow MCN from my shop, Train Track Fiber Designs. And then I've chosen a purpley one for my yoke color, my main color. And then this is Drifter, which is very similar to Prize, which is the speckle one that I showed you a minute ago. But this just kind of has more of a yellowy undertone. And then this is Sugarberry, which is my pink contrasting color. And then this, I don't remember what I called it. Simcoe, I think? I think this is Simcoe. But as you can see, Simcoe has some little kind of pinky red speckles throughout the whole thing. And then also, I don't know that I'll be able to find a teal or purple speckle, but there's very, very little bits of teal and purple speckles in there as well, because I was trying to like blend everything together. So I'm super happy with this. I think you're supposed to knit like from the underarms like 16 inches or something, and I think last time I measured I was almost at 9 inches, so I'm over halfway done with this, you know, sea of stockinette. And it's super fun to make because, you know, you did get the fun color work part up front, which I was totally terrified. If you guys watched episode, I guess it would have been 52, when I was talking about making this, I was so terrified of color work. But I'm feeling more confident in it. I feel like my floats look pretty legit, actually, for being, you know, someone who's only done this is my 4th color work project ever, so I feel like my floats are pretty good. And I don't know. I talk about how I was knitting them holding yarn in both hands last week's episode, so if you're interested in hearing about my struggles, go watch that episode. I won't bore you this time though, because probably people have already seen it, but I'm super happy with it. I am alternating between 2 skeins of this, so I do have a little seam going up the side, or it's on the inside of course, but because whenever you use hand-dyed yarn, you should always alternate between skeins, I guess. So if you're gonna use, you know, 3 skeins, you need to alternate between all 3 skeins. If you're gonna use 2, you know, whatever. So, because if not, like this stuff will pull, and the speckles will be like all the same in one section and then different in a different one. So you always should alternate. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say about this. Okay, no, there's nothing else to say about that really. I did use my Chiago needles. These are interchangeable. I just got these right after Christmas because I had been given a gift card. So I purchased those needle set. And so I put up a brand new interchangeable needle, I guess, comparison and review video. So if I can remember, I'll link it up here. If pop-up didn't come up, then I will put it as the suggested video at the end. So anyways, and if for some reason, Lord forbid, if I forget to do all that, then I will link it over at knittingthezone.com. So hopefully one of those ways that video will show up. But yeah, so I put that up because now I have 4 sets of interchangeable needles, so I just wanted to talk about it and compare. So if you're interested in that, if you're in the market for anything like that, or if you're just nosy, go check that out. I think that's really all I have for you guys this week. As far as reading goes, since I am in the sea of stockinette, I've actually been able to hold a real life book and read. And so I'm reading What Alice Forgot. That's a book that's been on my shelf, like that I've wanted to read probably since the fall, and I've just never had time to read it. So that's, you know, that is one benefit of being able to knit a stockinette in the round for so long, and it doesn't matter, you don't have to count rows or anything because you're just going to a certain amount of inches. So that is one benefit of that, because I can actually just prop the book up and, you know, read. And actually, if you are a person who reads and knits, I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this. This is called Flip Clip, and it I got it on Amazon. I'll link it for you guys in the show notes, but you just put your book in here and then it holds it. So it holds your book open. So you could use this while you're working out, of course, too, like if you're on a treadmill or elliptical or something. But of course, you could also use it while you are knitting, which is what I do, and it's super awesome. I don't remember how much it was. It was less than 10 bucks though. So it's plastic, and it's actually held up really well because I used it a lot out on the porch this summer. But yeah, so I'll link that if you guys are interested in something like that, because before I think I was using a hair clip to hold my book open, and then I was using like a clipboard or something to hold the other side, so it wasn't really the best setup. So that thing is totally cool and worth it. Anyways, I think that's all I have for you guys to do today. Hope you guys are having an awesome week. Please don't forget to subscribe. There is a subscribe button somewhere, and if you're interested in being notified, hit the bell so it gives you notifications, and also give it a thumbs up and share with your knitty friends. And I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye guys.